I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun seal me down. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun seal me down. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
If you leave me to my own device, I never have to compromise. The city is like a jungle, gotta make it mine. Put my fears right out of sight. Beat the hustle, better get it right. In a game where the strong survive. Only the strong survive. Your chains will not hold me down. The break and fall to the ground. Can't tame these lions inside. The power is raining like thunder, ready for a fight. These lions inside. These lions inside. These lions inside. These lions inside. I had to learn to be the hero. I started on a heaven zero. In a city like a jungle, I had to get mine. Never give, you gotta take. Be the catapult to storm the gates. Cause the champion is never giving in. See you through till the end of days. Till the end of days. Your chains will not hold me down. The break and fall to the ground. Can't tame these lions inside. The power is raining like thunder, ready for a fight. These lions inside. These lions inside. Can't tame these lions inside. Can't tame these lions inside. The ground that they're walking ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey to the bitter end. The ground that they're walking ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey to the bitter end. The ground that they're walking ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey. Let the games begin. Your chains will not hold me down. The break and fall to the ground. Can't tame these lions inside. The power is raining like thunder, ready for a fight. These lions inside. These lions inside. they're walking ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey through the bitter end. The ground that they're walking ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey. Let the games begin.
Can't wait till I'm back up on my feet again. Won't be so hard to love. When my window shows a brighter day, won't be so hard to love. I hate when I bring you down. I hate when I bring you down so low. I hate when I bring you down. I bring you down so low. And I can't change it, fake it. God knows I get so hard to love. And I can't change it, fake it. God knows I get so hard to love. Might be that my mind can't find a better way when I get so hard to love. And I get so restless in my modern ways. That's why I'm so hard to love. I just seem to bring it down, baby. I just seem to bring you down so low. And I can't change it, fake it. God knows I get so hard to love. And I can't change it, fake it. God knows I get so hard to love.
What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. How you doing, Patrick?
All right. What about you, man?
Living the dream. Living the dream. So we just got back from Europe not too long ago. It was a good trip. Yeah, data mines. So before Europe, though, I did a thing and I posted it on Twitter. We got another puppy.
That's ridiculous.
So we got Denali. So she's a little cute. Another Great Dane. So she's 11 weeks old. So 11 weeks. 11 weeks. All right. You're welcome. All right. So yeah. So 3 Great Danes in the house. Yeah. That's what we do. How's everyone in the chat this morning? Hope everyone is great.
No
Chat's. Yeah, I know you had a comment. Patrick texted me going, "Why?" It's just, it's what we do. All right. So chat is lively. Yes, James. The Saxton Zoo is alive and well. It's great. Yeah, one of us. I like that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, Paul. We do have 2 cats in the house, though. So yeah. So no worries, Jack. No worries, Jack. Arriving late. It's all good. You didn't miss anything yet. You may have missed the puppy. So, all right. So hashtag new. Stina in Texas, loving every minute. Love it. Member for 17 months. Amazing. And we had a bunch of members join during the countdown. So I appreciate all you in terms of becoming a member and supporting what we do here. So we'll get to that in just a second. If you're new to Guy in a Cube or the live stream, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces and new folks. It's always amazing. We met so many people in Europe. It was great. And then Power Platform Conference before that, it was so many people.
Yeah.
It was good to meet folks face to face instead of. I love the live stream. Don't get me wrong. I love the YouTubes, but meeting face to face. And Patrick has his energy when it's live. Like it's bananas. So, all right. So shout out to the members of Guy in a Cube. You help us do what we do here on the channel, and just appreciate all of it. Like I said, we had a couple new members join during the countdown. I love it. If you want to learn more about being a member, you can check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below. No commitment required. Just a big thank you from us. And then if you see folks with a green name or the Guy in a Cube logo next to their name, those are members of Guy in a Cube. So thank you and shout out to all of you. All right, yeah. Chatmaster C asks, what kicks is Patrick wearing today? Probably no kicks. Maybe just bare feet or flip flops or
flip flops. Yeah. I got flip flops on.
So for those that don't know, Patrick did the challenge at Data Mines and Techorama, Netherlands, that he wore a different pair of shoes every day, different pair of sneakers.
Yeah. Different pair of sneakers.
It was great. I love the he has a Power BI themed color shoe as well, which is on point. So
that's
it's not that. So all right, let's check out the see who's new here from today. Let's see here. Where does it start? Let's see. So Big Yin hashtag new spelled out. I love it. Let's see. Chad is new, and he's a Microsoft CSA out at Virginia. Welcome. Let's see here. Paul, you missed the puppy. Sorry. We showed the new puppy. Fernando says Jordan 3. I don't know. All yours were Jordan 1s, right?
Oh, no. I had some 3s. I had a pair of 3s on the...
Look at me talking like I know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. All right, that was all the I didn't see any other news. It's all right. Welcome everyone. James coming up on 2 years. That's a bananas. I love it. And then Wyatt, 30-month member. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's amazing. Scroll back for the puppy. Yeah, Denali. We brought in Denali. Oh, you didn't miss the puppy. Good. All right. So ground rules. Please put Q: in front of your questions. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them queued up. One time is all you need. Chatmaster C will get them queued up. We usually don't get to all of the questions, so apologies for that in advance. If we don't get to the question, come back next time. We'll try it again. Outside of that, please do not spam the chat. We have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube, so third time of spamming, and you will get put into a timeout either by Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators, except for Patrick. Patrick doesn't do it. Casper say, yeah, he joined SQL Server during Denali. Yep. So that's also the Big Mountain too. So, which is what SQL Server Denali was named after. Love it. We need a dollar jar for the puppies. Yeah, SQL 2012 is Denali.
There'd be more of those than it depends.
No, it's all good. All right, let's do this. Patrick, are you ready for the questions? And the queue is light, so get them in. All right, Matthias coming in first, as always. Appreciate that, Matthias. As a Power BI global admin, how do you migrate data sets from orphaned My Workspaces of users who left the company? Ooh. Today, you can't. So apologies for that. So, but My Workspace, I'm going to drop a link in the chat to the release wave item for improvements to My Workspace. So this was actually supposed to come out in the last wave, but it got pushed a little bit. And Daryl, the workspaces aren't deleted, so they're just orphaned. So the user ends up leaving basically they don't have an owner anymore because the account's no longer there in Active Directory. So the workspace is still technically there. The challenge is if people publish things that are business needed in that workspace, you can't get to it, and it's you're stuck now. How do you update it? How do you get it off to a real app workspace? This is why we tell everyone, do not publish production-ready stuff from My Workspace. Do it in an app workspace. Now, the challenge for some folks is, if they don't have a pro license, all they have is My Workspace. So that's a problem. But the updates that are coming in that release wave, one of the things there is that admins can inject themselves into that workspace to get things out. Burnett, the My Workspace is there. There are reasons for having it there. So especially from just self-service or people wanting to test things or, just try things out. Again, if you're just kicking the tires on Power BI for the first time, all you have is My Workspace. So that's why it's like your little playground, your own personal playground before you go to an app workspace. So, and Tom, no worries. You're late. You're just on time. So, all right. So yeah, Matthias, it says it's coming in December. So keep your eyes out on that. I think that's going to help you out in terms of getting into those workspaces and being able to do something. A lot of organizations have asked for this feature and being able to work with it. What are you thinking, Patrick?
Oh, no, I just read a question and I had a thought.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Any other thoughts on that from your end?
No.
Nice.
No.
Nice. All right. Philippe coming in with a question. How can I load data? Oh, this is the Patrick question. How can I load data for the last 12 months in import mode and older data, let it be in direct query? My data set has over 200 million rows, but for the last 12 months, it would be something like 30 million. You did a video on this.
Hybrid tables.
Yeah, hybrid tables.
Did a video. I don't see Alex in the chat.
I don't see Alex.
I'll find the link. And you can, yes, Bernard, you can use Tabular Editor to create one partition that's import, one partition that's direct query, but you need premium or premium per user for this. You can't use pro. So, but you can do it. But it's only, I'm curious though, it's 20 million rows, which is not an extreme. How many is 200 million rows? That's not a lot of data. What's the shape of that data? Is it a star schema? Because if it's just 200 million rows, you could, I don't know if it's growing, but you could import it and just use incremental refresh. And then the initial load would take a bit, and then your annual load would only be those 30 million rows. So, yep.
Yeah, so Johnny was saying, doesn't Phil CMark have a composite model pattern that does that too? Yeah, there's different ways of accomplishing it, but with hybrid tables, it makes it really seamless, right, for that one table.
Easy.
And it's just on that partition. So the archive history stuff is just a DQ partition, and the other 12 months is rolling.
We did this before hybrid tables came out with the customer, and we had a part of the table that was direct query in direct query mode. Then we had the part of the table that was import, but two separate tables. And then we created a measure to check, and it worked, but it was kind of clunky. Yeah. But it definitely worked.
So, and the default with hybrid tables is that the current partition is DQ and the archive is import. Right. And so your trick is to use Tabular Editor to flip that.
To flip the script.
Yep.
And I don't know if Tabular Editor picked up, but the thing was you had to change the database compat level. I forgot what it was.
Right.
I don't remember. I don't remember, but you need to go do that also. I don't remember. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out. We should have asked Daniel when we saw him about it in Tabular Editor. Yeah. Remember when I saw Daniel, I didn't recognize him. That was so funny. Daniel Otakaier, who created Tabular Editor, we were in the speaker room in Data Mines, and like Daniel came up, said hi to us, and we were chatting, and Patrick and I were kind of in a zone. And then, you know, he
I'm a
took
huge
off.
fan.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
the way, I'm a huge
So I'm
Daniel fan.
like, hey, what's
so-
going up? But Daniel's name was never mentioned. He just came up. Patrick's like, hey, how you doing? And then he left. And then he's just like,
Yeah.
man, where is Daniel going to be here? And I'm like, yeah, you just talked to him. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, he was just there. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And so we had to go.
I had to find him. I
we
found
met
him,
up with him that
chatted him
night.
up. Yeah.
That was funny. It was funny.
Here's
Oh, Alex
Hey,
is here.
Alex.
There you go. Year after
Year
dashboarding
after
days. Stay
dashboarding
tuned.
day.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, Alex. There you go.
All right. DK, source control question here. For source control, I know we have a few pseudo options, but what's the recommended approach for adding data to a model via Power Query in a CI/CD framework? So, yeah, that's So that's the problem, is that doesn't make sense. So when we think about source control and we think about the model, you're talking about the JSON or the BIM, like the schema, the structure. And within that contains the Power Query for how it's going to pull that data in and how it's going to mash it up. So you don't add data from a CI/CD perspective. You update the model or the definition of the model, and then once that's deployed, then you have to refresh or process the data. The processing piece is what reloads that data and gets it back into the model, and that has to be done.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so the data itself, you don't add data from a CI/CD perspective. You alter the schema or the Power Query structure, deploy it through CI/CD, and then can trigger the refresh, whether it's at a partition level or for a full table or the whole model. So that would be where you go. I don't know if that makes sense to you, DK. That was that's how that works. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of version control that we heard when we were over in Europe. A lot of questions around that.
Mark did a great session.
Yeah, Mark Lillyville.
On it.
Yeah. I
At
pronounced that right.
Techorama. I saw it at Techorama. I think he also did it at Data Mines, but I saw it at Techorama.
So DK said I meant adding new tables via Power Query. So you'd have to do that. So you would do that from a tabular editor perspective on the model itself, right?
Yeah.
And that would be the JSON file. So you edit the JSON file through tabular editor. You can leverage Power Query and DAX, all of that inside of tabular editor. Save that, and then that gets checked into source control, and then you have some process to deploy that to the service. So.
But because you're adding a new table, if there's a new relationship, you need to understand how to process it, right? And so there's got to be maybe a process data or a process full. I mean, there's lots of stuff that you got to consider. It's just not adding that table. It still goes back to the process, and like Adam said at the beginning, Daniel Ottiker has a good blog post, a series of blog posts on how to do it with Tabular Editor. I'll have to look it up, but there's a good blog post how he does CI/CD with Tabular Editor.
Yeah, I think Chris is mentioning, look, data refresh should be part of CI/CD. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there should be some process as part of that CI/CD pipeline that kicks off the processing, refresh, validates it. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But in terms of the adding the table and all of that, that has to be like that's outside of the refresh. That's not part of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can use PowerShell to kick off those refreshes and whatnot.
Chris said he disagrees. Chris says
Check
he
out
disagrees.
PyTabular. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. Yeah, and also Johnny, good call out. This requires premium or premium per user because you need the XML endpoint to do it.
Python.
Pi. You said you put Pi in front of something, and now Patrick's all excited. Then he starts thinking about PySpark.
I'm not chasing it down. I'm sticking with PySpark. That's it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
That's funny. Nice. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Tim, are you aware of any plans for a connector in Power BI for Azure Active Directory users and groups? I am not. Not a native connector. But I did look. If you go to cdata.com, they have a bunch of custom connectors. And they do have one for Azure Active Directory, so you can check that out. Typically, though, it's potentially going to be slow because it's going against APIs. And what I don't know if the CData connector is going against Graph APIs or not. So the Microsoft Graph APIs is a way you can go get that information. Yeah, David said Graph API as well. I know doing custom work with Graph API is little bit challenging because of the authentication of it. It's kind of you're basically working against raw REST methods. So check out the cdata.com. There is a price tag on that though to use that, so that may not be something you want to deal with. So, but that's something that you can look at.
Alex had made a good point right here though. Leverage Power Automate and Office 365/AD user connectors and write against a natively supported source. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and that's we made that recommendation too. Someone was asking something about certain API, like how do I connect to that, and just APIs in general. Like, look, can you dump it into a SQL server or something like that, where Power BI can easily connect to that and potentially be performant. Some of that depends on, I guess it depends on that. In terms of
Dang it.
In terms of
$1.
like your data latency, like how often do you want it? So hopefully you're not going to do direct query against Azure Active Directory for sure. So yeah. Oh my gosh, there's all sorts of sports ball talk in the chat now. Whew.
That's all right. Sports ball weekend. It's sports ball
Is
weekend.
it?
I missed it last weekend.
Is it?
Yeah, I missed. I didn't get any sports last weekend. I'm so excited.
You did. We watched. Well, not last weekend, but we did watch soccer at the kebab
I saw my
place.
first soccer goal.
You saw your first soccer goal. There it was.
I saw my first soccer goal.
Yeah, or football for those outside of the U.S. Yeah. You were so
That
excited.
was an amazing
too.
trip. Yeah, that was an amazing trip. Benny and everyone. That was an amazing trip.
And Andre over on the Tekorama side hooked us up. That was nice.
Yep, Andre. That was amazing.
All right, Didier, do you have some approximative stats? Among report developers, what is the ratio between business users, consultants, IT teams? Thanks in advance. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, I would think
no
business
idea.
users would be the majority in any lineup. So consultants are usually going to be a small segment. It's not going to be a large number. Business users, like if we're talking about actual consumers, that's going to be your largest bucket. In terms of authors, from a like a business analyst side, that's also going to be that'll be the second largest bucket. Consultants will be the third bucket, and then IT group will be the smallest bucket usually. Usually. Yeah. Matthias, business users 1, everyone else 0. Yeah. So I mean, that's natural, right? So you don't need as many people to administer Power BI. You probably only have a couple of consultants, and then you've got your business analysts, and then everyone that's consuming it. So Thomas, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, are you actually offsetting all of your authoring to consultants? I mean, that could incur a high cost as well. So I don't know. So I will also say, from Patrick's and my view, I don't know that we necessarily see that breakdown as much. So,
No.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Jed Wigga coming in. Yeah, this is an interesting question. So what was the best feature announced at Ignite? For me, SharePoint viewing and on-object editing.
I was
know
just
what
reading the
Patrick
blog
says.
on that this morning.
I know what Patrick
I
says.
was just reading the blog on it this morning, and it actually was.
Alex.
Let me go back to it. You already know what
I already
it was,
know what
think.
it is. I know what yours is.
It's all the stuff about. Oh, it's at the very end of the blog. It's
Hey,
the very last
drop
one.
it in the
Hey,
chat
it's
what your thoughts are, everyone.
Accelerate your migration experience.
Really? That was your favorite? Really?
Accelerate your migration experience.
Really?
Accelerate your. No. It's B2B.
Really?
That's my favorite one. Yes. Yeah.
Not the
Collaboration.
Not the in-web model authoring.
I gotta see it. I need to see it. I need
showed
to
a
see
video
it
of it, didn't they?
before.
They had a video of
Yeah,
it.
but it's not. Yeah, they didn't tell you. They didn't tell me everything about it. They didn't tell me everything.
You gotta get your
about
hands on
so,
it.
before I can give an answer to that one. So I'm
Kevin
gonna go with
is,
some very vague stuff, right?
Yeah. Why was Ignite not announced? It was announced, actually, several times. So it was much smaller this time, though. They only had 4,000 people in person. It was a hybrid event. It was all over your
4,000
YouTube.
people.
Yeah. Well, Ignite normally is like 20 to 30,000 people back before COVID. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
That was a lot of people.
Yeah. My garage is coming up. I'm gonna mute for a second.
All right. So I'm gonna go with for me it was the on object editing. I got really excited over that. That's kind of nice to have it in content. Yeah. Where you can like just from the ellipse you can change the different things. That's nice. I like that. So model editing is so Johnny, yeah, the in-web model authoring experience or editing experience. So today, Power BI Desktop's where you do all the things. But in the new, if we look at the web, we've got report authoring. You can do Power Query Online with data flows or data marts. But the thing that's missing is there's no way to really edit the model or to create the model in the web experience. And so for like folks that are on a Mac, you don't have a good option in terms of, do we have a complete experience inside of the web? I'm not going to say that this model editing / authoring is going to give you that complete experience now in parity with Power BI Desktop, but it's the next step in the journey of getting that experience in the web. And that'll help out all those folks on the Macs that can't run Power BI Desktop. So, James says, yeah, so he's excited about the optimize ribbon. So Patrick, this is the thing where you can like pause queries for direct query to do the editing. So it's not constantly going back and forth. There's a lot of people that want that.
I'm holding my breath on that one though. I'm holding my breath on that one.
And Johnny was in person at Ignite. So, but you were in the UK Ignite, right? Not the one in Seattle, right? If I remember correctly, I think. Maybe you were in Seattle. If you were, awesome, nice. There were local events. Yeah. So I know they did that at the North American Collab Summit where they combined and did like that was the one in Branson. They did like an Ignite stuff on the screens as well. So don't pass out, Patrick. All right. Ignite light.
No, that's what Adam talked about the visual formatting. That's what the object formatting. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. The on object editing. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. It's nice. Cool. Thank you, Jadwiga, for bringing up that question. All right. Let's get rid of that one. Back. How are we doing on time? All right. Toma. What is better, 2 P1 capacities or 1 P2 capacities? Well, that's an it depends.
I'm gonna put $2 in a jar for that one.
You're gonna put 2 in there? No, Kevin, that's $3 now total. So, because he put $2 in the jar for this question. Yeah, well, because there was one. There was one in the beginning, and then this one was 2.
I put this one up, Kevin.
Yeah. So Toma, what are you putting in the capacity? Like, what does it require from a compute perspective? I mean, if you're buying the items for doing a P2 capacity, if all you care about is a certain set of workload, then maybe make it a P2. I don't know that you need a P2 though. Also, are you trying to segment business operations? Maybe you have one group on one capacity, another group on another capacity to just make sure they don't, impact each other from an overall CPU burn perspective. So
what's your big model size? What's your model size, right? I mean, because if you go P1, you only got 25 gigs. If you go P2, you got bigger model size. So there's so many things, so many things here.
Yep. Yeah. So David's bringing up an interesting point. I had a long conversation with a customer on Friday about the cost of that. So just know that there's a separation there between the purchase and the actual creation of the capacity. So the purchase is about getting those cores into the vCore pool. And so that you could buy 1 P2 or buy 2 P1s. That just gets you 16 cores in the vCore pool. And then once you have those 16 cores in the vCore pool, then you can create 2 P1s, you can create 1 P2.
What?
Doesn't matter.
What
are you looking at?
Toma, 4.1 GB biggest. P1 can't handle more than...
No. P1 can handle up to 25 gig for a single model.
Yeah.
It's 25 gig per data set.
Did I say 3?
I don't remember you saying 3.
Oh. Okay.
No, so P1 is 25 gig per data set. So now, so the 4.1 gig though, this goes back to the video you did with Marco on what is that size? Is that in memory size? Is it on disk size? And then as you use the model, is it bloating up to a higher memory size? So once you get it in there, check out the Capacity Metrics app, and you can maybe look at certain things over time and see what's going on. So, yeah. Best thing you can do, though, is test and validate. I don't know what your workloads are. I don't know what your business goals are. So that's where the it depends comes from. So either way, you're getting 16 cores. So figure out how you want to divide it. That's awesome. So, all right. We got a little bit more time here. Let's go. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Eskinder? Is there any workaround to solve a data limitation paginated report visual in Power BI? What data limitation are you referring to?
Yeah, what data limitation are you seeing?
I don't know what that means. Data limitation. I don't know.
Is there a data limitation on the paginated
That I'm aware
visual?
of. Not when you use, no. I mean, in terms of export, there's no limit. No, the 30K row is for a regular like table visual. That's not the paginated report visual, right? Yeah, because that was the whole point of that, is like now you can export without the limit. You're muted, Patrick, by the way. You muted yourself.
I thought there were no limits. Maybe I missed
That's my
that.
understanding. I don't know, Mr. Finland was in the, he may have dropped off though. No, like we did that before. We did a whole video on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Toma, that's not true. It's so you can only upload up to 10 gig model, and then it can. But you shouldn't be uploading if it's that big. Don't upload it that big. Use like put a filter on it, and then
wait.
Is there a limit?
The paginated report. See, it's the export. But listen to this. The paginated report visual has a built-in 30,000 value data reduction limit. If any field used in the visual contains more than 30,000 values, a data reduction algorithm kicks in and drops the rows that are above the limit.
That's for the export. Like I get that for the rendering of the visual.
Yeah, there's no limit for the export.
Right.
But this says values. This is something else. I need to look at this.
Yeah, that's interesting. We got to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Toma, the PBIX files, like typically your approach there when you get to that size is use incremental refresh. So the actual published model is going to be much smaller, and then you refresh it once it gets into the service, and it can go up to 10 gig. And it can go beyond by default, and it can go beyond 10 gig if you enable large file support. So, all right. Chatmaster C is clearing the queue. Look at that. We had a lot more questions in the queue, but we are going to go
on RLS that there was one on RLS that you should have got to and talked about. I wish you could have, but anyway, I don't know where it is.
I'm looking. I'm just scanning
it's exactly
real quick.
the problem. It's exactly the problem that you solved 2 weeks ago, and they were asking, could RLS take down your capacity? Yes, it can.
Yes, it can. Oh wait, here it is. Troy had it. Troy's a new. Actually, Troy, resubmit it. You're a member now. Put it in the member queue.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's when I was reading, and I was like,
yeah, Troy, resubmit your question.
Tell that story.
So we're doing. I forgot to say that. I forgot to say, members, hold your question. We'll have a good discussion on that. All right, we are going into member-only mode. Wait, Marco, what?
Yeah, I just saw him.
Yeah, he showed up earlier.
I didn't.
Yeah, so we are going into member-only mode. So we are going to switch the chat. Only members and moderators can participate in the chat. Everyone can still watch the stream and learn all the great knowledge and clicks that we talk about or show. But only members and moderators can participate in the chat. If you do have a burning question and we didn't get to it, you can submit a super chat. Super chat always take priority and jump the line so we can get to it. If you do a super chat and you want a question as part of it, make sure you type in the question before you submit the super chat. So, all right, with that, let's get over into member-only mode. All right. I gotta learn the clicks on the Power BI side. All right, and I'm only seeing, I see questions coming in, but they're not getting queued up. I know Chatmaster C had to run and do something right at around 10. I'm guessing that's happening. So let me just go queue up a few. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. And then Troy, make sure you resubmit your question if you haven't already. I'm going to add apologies for this. Oh, all right, she's there. Someone's there. I don't see Troy. I'm going to go grab Troy's real quick because I don't know if he's there. I know he was a member, so I'm going to add that one in. All right, let's start with Troy's because, oh my gosh. There we go. Where'd it go? What happened? View queue.
I don't know.
Ugh, I lost it.
I don't know.
I think someone's messing with me here.
All
All
right.
right, let's do Troy's. So let's, Troy, our P1, I think, tell me, was this the one you were looking at? So, all right, our P1 is being throttled every day. Any general optimization tips to help lower utilization with many concurrent users? How taxing is RLS on utilization? Tools to help and test concurrency. Oh, such a good question. So, let's talk about this for a second. So, I have an example of one where they're sitting on a P5 capacity, and the model was like around, I don't know, 5 to 800 meg. It was not a big model at all. And the CPU was going above 100% on a P5 with that model. And there were a couple things, there was many things actually that were going on. But the biggest contributor to that, so first we had a hierarchy slicer in the mix. They were trying to work hierarchy. And it was a complex hierarchy, and depending on based on the DAX that the hierarchy slicer was generating, that was causing significant overhead. And then also combined with the RLS that was implemented in that model as well. When we removed the hierarchy slicer and went to simple slicers for the hierarchy, that did reduce the CPU burn. But when we changed the RLS to a simple filter, instead of a complex, like they were doing some string operations within the RLS logic itself, and it was, oh my gosh. The minute we saw that, we just had an immediate reaction to it. Like, don't do that. When we removed that to a simple filter, it went from like 110% utilization on the capacity down to like 35-40% utilization. So that was the overhead that the RLS had on that with doing complex RLS. So we had this, I had this before a while back, and I did a video on it in terms of the hierarchy. And I remember talking to Jeffrey Wang about it, and we were basically like, he's like, simple filter all the way on RLS. Like, do not complicate the RLS because that gets like it's basically evaluated on every query. And so there's potential overhead on that. So the more you can make it a simple filter, the better your life's going to be in terms of performance overhead. Like I saw one where also there was another example of this where they were doing like some looping operation and like calculated tables inside of the RLS expression. And I'm like, don't do that. Please don't do that. Because they were trying to inject some things into the hierarchy, and it was, oh my gosh. It was so bad. It was so bad. So just be very careful. Be very careful.
Yep.
So that's the first part in terms of RLS. It can be taxing on your utilization. So definitely validate that. DAX Studio 3 actually has some interesting things you can do now. We need to do a video on that. But DAX Studio 3 now makes it easier to test RLS in terms of performance and to see what that overhead is. So definitely look at that. The video I did on the hierarchy thing before, I showed how you can kind of, it's a little tricky to validate the RLS, but I did get it to work. DAX Studio 3 makes that better. The other thing in terms of testing, DAX Studio is a great thing to compare. Look at the visuals. So the thing I would say is in that example also, when we were looking at performance, make sure single user runs are performant. If they're not, then when you put scale on it, it's not going to be performant, right?
Yeah.
And so we even tested, I grabbed, a combination of the premium capacity metrics report, and this was awesome. So we did the point in time drill down on the burn, which led me down to several queries at a certain time slice. And we saw that like those queries were taking like 220 seconds, not milliseconds. And when at that timestamp, I said, go to Log Analytics integration and go get me those DAX queries. And they had Log Analytics set up, and we went and we got those queries. That's how I found out it was the hierarchy slicer. But we ran that against the Power BI desktop file of what they had, and like we easily reproed it inside of Power BI desktop. And so it was showing 7 seconds for the overall visual run inside of Power BI desktop, and I'm like that's going to kill your capacity when you go to scale. So make sure it runs fast. So it's nuts.
That's the point, though. Look at Premium Capacity Metrics app. That little visual in the top right. I don't know what's the name of that one. And you can right-click and drill and see the details.
It'll analyze this visual, and it'll refresh the individual visual. But like, I actually did it in even taking that query that was run on that we had in Log Analytics. I spun up DAX Studio against the Power BI desktop file, and I ran that query, and I'm like, seeing the same time. Yeah. Like, so it's not because of high concurrency. It's because your model's bad, or you've got some issues that you got to optimize. And so go visual by visual and see what they are, and make sure they're sub-second. Like, they should be fast. If they're not, then that's going to contribute and get worse as you introduce scale. And then in terms of load testing or trying to do concurrency testing, there's tools out there you can do that. So just be careful. I know Load Runner, there was something specific. There was like a true something. I forget what it was called. Ted Pattison was talking about it. True Client. So run that. Don't just copy the APIs and then replay the APIs, because that's bad and that's potentially unsupported. But the True Client will actually grab like the clicks on the web page and reissue those clicks. And that's a much better load test approach. So. Yeah, I love that, Thomas. RLS on an ugly baby is bad. Yes. Now, what's even worse is bad RLS on an ugly baby is even worse. So, yeah.
It's a really ugly baby.
Oh, my gosh.
You remember what I said at the conference about ugly babies?
What did you say? I know it got a reaction.
Yeah, I'm not
got a reaction.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. All right, Tom. If I use decimal 10,2 in my Azure SQL table, what should the data type in Power BI be set to decimal? Fixed decimal, or does it matter for best calc performance?
Fixed decimal. I think Mark already answered this one, though, but fixed decimal. Use fixed decimal. 100%. The lower the precision, the better. The lower the precision. I think fixed decimal is 4 decimal places, so stick to it. Stick to fixed decimal.
I'm curious if... all right. Marco said the same thing, so yes, we did it. Yeah, he said fixed decimal would be better. You get decimal by default, and it'll show up as a double if you look at like VPAX file or something like that.
Decimal, fixed decimal.
Yeah, that came up also. Where were we when we looked at that, and it was like show double on everything, and we're like, wait, why are we double on everything? Like, get those to fixed decimal. I think it was some customer engagement we were looking at. But it was just doubles on everything, and we're like, oh my gosh. That was the P5 burn. that was when we looked at I looked at a VPAX file for that, and it showed like doubles on everything and strings everywhere, and oh my gosh, it was so bad. All right, Jarrell. You guys like clone characters. You guys are like clone character of each other. Is there a way to get a report with all the reports in company's environment tenant, not just the workspace?
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Like, what are you trying to get there?
Is there a way to get a report with all the reports in company environment tenant? Metrics about them? Metrics.
Yeah, so if you want an inventory, you can do an inventory. The REST APIs, you can go, the Get Workspace API call can do that. And you basically just loop over all the workspace. So the Get Workspaces, and then use the expand feature, and that will give you everything in terms of inventory. You can run that as an admin, and that will go over every workspace. The challenge I've seen with that, if you have a lot of workspaces and a lot of content, you may have to work at kind of looping algorithm and going a couple at a time, because it could be too much.
Purview.
Oh, Purview? Yeah. The workspace scanner APIs. Yeah. That's what David.
Somebody said Purview.
David just said that.
Somebody
so
said Purview.
Yeah. Yep, David
Purview
knows.
all the
David
things.
knows. Yep, those are the APIs you can go to do it. So, but the expand on the get groups as admin, that's the use the expand, and that will give you a list of all the content.
Look at what Johnny said though. He said, I think he's trying to get metrics, and right now there's no way to get all the metrics, right?
Yes.
Of all the reports.
And so, yeah, and that's planned to come with the admin insights work.
Stay
So it's
tuned.
going to be, I don't know when it's going to come. So I know the
Yeah.
admin insights is currently in private preview. And right now, I think it just shows the audit log. But there will be a report usage metrics as part of that. That will be tenant wide. And so that'll help on that front. So, yeah, good call out, Johnny. Good call out. Good call out. Yeah, all right. Jarrell said that's what he wanted to know. Thank you. All right. Yeah, and Purview all the things. I remember we talked about Purview at Data Mines, and Erwin came up to us. He's just like, I love it. You talked about Purview. And I'm like, yeah.
Power BI guys. Power BI guys talking about Purview.
Yeah, PubEater. What's an API? So it's for coding. You can code, and then you can use PowerShell. You can just use PowerShell. Just get the PowerShell commandlets. You can do all of that.
He's a clicky.
Great.
He's
I'm
a clicky
person. I get you. Yeah, Yoast saying use scanner APIs. Yep. Lots of options there. Awesome. Let's see here. Next one. We actually got a lot of questions this time on the member side. Chris. Always love Chris's questions. They're very good. Better to keep fact tables separate by topic, sales, deliveries, or consolidated based on data granularity?
Do not consolidate them. Do not consolidate them.
I mean, the fact should be for a specific event, right?
I did a video on this. And you should go watch that video. And I talk about the disadvantages and why you should do it one way over the other. If you consolidate it, think about if you have fact sales and it's got dates specific to sales and dimensions specific to sales. Then you have fact deliveries and you have, dimensions and specific to that. What if one of those don't have a dimension? Then you got all these null values. What if it doesn't have the same values? Then all these, it's not efficient. And so you should not consolidate them. You should have them separate. But there's a video to it. There's a video.
unless you're using Tableau.
Okay. I don't know much about Tableau.
Yeah, I mean, you want to, the referential integrity stuff is, you get all these weird blanks everywhere. And it starts to not make sense.
It's performance also, though.
Yeah.
Right? It's performance, too. It can
now you're overcomplicating it, so now you're adding filters to exclude certain things or include certain things where you wouldn't have needed that anyway.
And your DAX. And your DAX is getting nasty.
All right, so James is saying one big table, all the things. Oh, no, I read that wrong. Said not recommended.
Oh, he said no, it's not recommended. No, not one big table. No, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yep, all good, Chris. Whoa, something happened. This thing just wigged out. All right, going back to the queue. Let's see here. So Ina is asking, are we open for collaborations? I don't know what that means, but if you mean consulting, we're not actually kind of doing that right now. So you can always reach out to us and we'll take a look. If you go to the webpage and just shoot us a note and we'll see. Chances are we're going to say no. But you never know.
Send us a note.
All right.
Send us a note.
Simon. I hope it's Simon. I persuaded a customer to move from one mega table to a star schema. Hallelujah. Thank you.
But keep reading.
It's Excel Power Pivot model. Performance is now worse. 7 small dimensions, 6 fact tables, less than 1 million rows, simple DAX. Any ideas?
I need to see the model.
Yeah.
I need to see the model. Are you using bidirectional? Is it limited relationship? Is it direct query? I have no idea.
So understand this is a Power Pivot model, so it's not Power BI Desktop. So it's not going to be a limited relationship.
I don't know what. I
have no idea. So the challenge with Power Pivot, so we can run Vertipack Analyzer against it. That may help you get some insights. But if you're hitting perf, like what is the perf? Are you in 32-bit Excel versus 64-bit Excel? Are you? Do you just not have enough resources on the machine? I don't know. I would think that would have been faster. But Chris, so this is what I don't know. So I don't do a lot on the Excel side. Power Pivot, does it have many-to-many relationships? I thought it didn't. So I don't know. Chat, let me know.
I have no idea.
But I wouldn't think so. So, but yeah, like that's I don't know. There could be a 4 gig RAM laptop. Oh my gosh, that won't even run Windows. Yeah. So Simon, I'd love to know more info though. I don't see anything more in the chat. But yeah, ideally it should have helped. But again, what's the DAX look like that you're running against? Maybe the issue's the DAX. I don't know.
He says simple DAX.
Yeah, but what is simple?
Simple DAX.
All right, so it said all one-to-many. Customers using 64-bit and 16 gig of RAM. Oh. I don't know, man. There's something wrong with something's up with the model and or the DAX if it's slow. I don't know. We'd have to take a look at that. I don't know what. Yep. Simpler DAX, yes, but what is the DAX? So like it still could be not performant. Yeah, that's Now the other thing you could try. One thing you could look at doing, just for testing purposes, it may make a little easier. Try replicating it in Power BI Desktop, the model piece of it, and see, like, is it still slow there? So maybe it's something specific to Excel. I don't know. Those are things I would start playing around with. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go back. How are we doing? Wow. All right, let's see here. Nahum, any plans to do videos on Azure Data Factory? I'm enjoying the Azure Synapse videos that you're creating. Oh.
Yes, there are.
That looks like a stay tuned look on Patrick's face.
Stay tuned. Right. Yes, there are.
Now, also when you say Azure Data Factory, we could also be talking about pipelines inside of Synapse, right?
Yeah. Ah, good. Very good, Adam. Very good.
See, I'm learning things. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
It's funny. I was thinking about that. It's
pipelines. Pipeline all the things and use Power Query inside of pipelines. Although there was some discussion about that also. It's a little limited.
Sorry, Daryl. No Databricks. No Databricks. No Databricks.
No Databricks. Not doing Databricks videos. Sorry. Not today. Maybe someday in the future. Who knows? But not today.
Yeah.
Not today. Yeah. Can't use Power Query in Synapse pipelines. I think you technically can.
Well, in mappings, I think it's in.
No. It's the Power Query Online pieces in.
You just can't do much. There's limited.
Yeah, it's just really limited. There's limited connectors, limited functions. Yeah, so it's. Hopefully, it gets better. I want it to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait until Microsoft buys Databricks, Daryl said. I doubt that's going to happen, but. All right. Sandeep, picking up question from non-member. Okay, look at that. Sneaking it in. Question is there a way to add serial number on table visual, which will change the filter changes? What? I don't know what that means.
Change as filters change, which will change as filters change.
I don't know what that means. Is there a way to add a serial number on table visual? So we have a table visual. Oh, so they want to add a number. I see what they're saying. So they want to say like 1 through 10. And they want that number to change as you filter. But you want to add that on the table visual. It's almost like maybe a rank. Well, so, however, what I don't know what you're asking is if you're asking for the rank, or if you're saying, hey, you actually want an index, you want that index to be maintained, but those numbers change, like that's not going to work because that has to be done in the model. But in terms of a rank, I know Jerome showed I don't know if he showed it or not, so I'm not going to talk about it. You'd have to do it with DAX. So you could do a report level measure if you don't want to do it in the you don't want to do it in the model directly, but it'd have to be like a rank X of some kind to get the ranking.
Alberto Marco just did it. Yeah,
one of them. Sandeep, index will not help. I agree with that.
Yeah. They did a really good video on Rank X. One of them. I'm not sure who did it, but they did just recently. They kind of demystified it. It was a really good video. I watched it on the plane.
Kevin, that's a good point. It depends, right? It depends on what they want. Thank you, Kevin. Keeping us honest. Keeping us honest. Yep. All right. Oni JS15. If I want to programmatically build a data set, do I use Timsol or Tom? Yes. You can use either. So the Timsol's going to be one way to do it. I would probably go with that. And then, or the Tom is more of the APIs to work with the model, right? So that's the object model. So if you're actually coding, you can say like tables dot whatever. That's the Tom. Timsol is going to be more of the like the JSON and whatnot. So that's the structure. So it depends. Depends on how you want to approach it. There you go, Patrick. It's another depend. It depends. Cue Patrick.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're racking them up this morning.
So if you're just wanting to do the JSON structure, that's going to be the Timsol. And then the Tom is if you're actually coding like objects from like a .NET perspective. So either way, they both work. And then go against the XML endpoint. Good to go.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yoast. Or use scripts inside a tabular editor too. There you go. There's another option. Mm-hmm. So
many ways.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see here. Gabriel. When data marts will have a full version? So when will Power BI data marts be generally available? No idea.
I don't know.
No idea. They haven't announced it, so stay tuned to the release wave information for more information. Usually it'll be disclosed there. And so, hey, Alex, if you're still around, if you can drop, he's been kind of quiet lately, but if you can drop the link to the report that you created or the app that you published for the release wave, drop that out. Johnny. Same time as the shape map. No, I disagree with that. Wow.
I think it's been previewed for a long time.
No, that's got the record. Oh my gosh. That's funny. So, Gabrielle, I don't have have information on it. Gabriel, probably not Gabriel. Yeah. Stay tuned. Let's
Did you see that note from Power BI guy?
What?
Look at that. Look at that comment from Power BI guy.
My 6-year-old son loves Captain America, just saw my screen, and now thinks Adam is the actor that plays Captain. Yes!
No.
Yes! That's America. Yes. I love that.
On to the next.
Love that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can do this all day. Oh, there was something. Where were we? We were at Data Mines. Someone was going by, or we were in. It was the airport. We were in the airport. Benny had just picked us up. We're moving, and we're on the walkway escalator. And someone was saying, she's like, on your left, and I'm like, yes, on your left. And then like the guy behind her was like, my man, like high-fived me. It was great. It was great.
Look what Jack Master C says. Calm down.
She's been duding me a lot today. I don't know what's up with that.
Dude, calm down.
Why'd you do me? I don't know.
You got too excited about being.
I'm excited. I'm Captain America. On your left.
Captain America.
Oh my gosh. All right. Karthik, Gateway Logs Monitor. Great template. Errors out for more than 3 clusters. I've only 1 month of data and trying to get a day's worth into a report still fails. Thoughts?
I haven't tinkered with it. I started setting it up, and so I have on mine, I just have 1 cluster and 1 individual, and it refreshes. I'm assuming you're talking about the template from Rui. Is he talking about the one that Rui created?
I was actually thinking the main production one that like Karthi and team had put out. That'd be a good Karthik. Are you using the one from Rui Romano, or are you using the one from the product itself? There is. I'm looking real quick. Where's gateways? Seriously, what?
Because Ruiz is really elegant. It takes it, it puts the data. You can do it on premises. You can do it in the cloud, and it works. I mean, I disabled it because I was going to do a video on it. I just never got around to it. Ruiz, he's using Ruiz.
Oh, all right.
Not sure.
I mean, I would post something on the GitHub repo, put like an issue, and just put it there, and then Rui can take a look at it, or other folks can comment. That's probably the best way to do it.
He's good too.
He'll look at it.
He will respond. He will look at it.
Yep. So yeah, add an issue on his GitHub repo and go that direction. That'd be a great way to go.
Yeah. He's on top of it.
Karthik's saying it works fine for quality control, but for production it fails.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Chemezer's in a mood today. I got to be careful.
No, she's not in the mood. She's just being honest. She's just being honest. Settle down, dude. Settle down.
All right. Chris Wagner coming in. Why doesn't Microsoft have this already? Have what?
I think we were talking about the admin, where you can see all the information about all the tenants and all the reports. And
you do have it,
I think,
through the APIs.
Okay. On to the next one. Sorry, Chris.
Chris.
I tried. I tried, Chris. I tried, Chris.
Oh, the admin insights. Yeah. Admin insights is coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's coming. Adam's in the doghouse.
They got to get it right. Toma coming in. Toma coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Toma. Can we turn off scheduled refresh for built-in Power BI usage metrics data set, which refreshes 12 times a day? What's the idea behind that?
You can turn it off.
Why would you want to turn it off, though? Maybe if it's on a premium capacity, it's chewing up CPU? Maybe?
I don't know. But you won't see the data set if you just go to the data sets tab. I don't have one running in my environment.
Yeah, that's right.
If you got to go to settings, then data sets, then you'll see that data set.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
You click on the workspace, go to workspace settings, then you'll see the data set there.
Let's head over to my machine.
Okay. Let's head over to your machine.
Let's head over to my machine. So if you're in home, so if you like Patrick said, if you go to the workspace that has the report usage metrics, you won't see the data set in the workspace. But if you go to settings, I don't know. I was looking at the camera using my hands to do that, but no one could see it. So go to the settings icon and go to settings here, and then go to the datasets tab, and then you'll see it. I don't have one, but you would see it listed here.
Yeah, that's what I don't have one.
Yeah. At which point you can then adjust the refresh pieces of it and turn it off. So, yep, that's how you would do it. Nice. Hopefully that helps. All right. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. All right, Yost. We got a few more. Oh, we're at time, but there's only. All right, we're gonna get a couple more. What was the best beer you tasted in Belgium, and can you remember? Yes. I will say honestly, in Belgium. Yeah. I really enjoyed that whiskey infused beer. That was nice. But Jungle Joy, I think, had the best. That was like a mango and some other fruit combo. It was fruity. I liked it. It was nice and light and refreshing.
Mine was a triple. There was a triple, then a C word. Triple with a C. I don't remember. Triple with the C.
Yeah, you had a lot of those.
That was the best one I had. And then went over to Casper's, though. When we went to Casper's in the Netherlands, he gave us like a amber type of, I don't know what kind of beer. It was a Dutch beer. And he said they only drink it in the fall. I forgot the name of it, but if Casper's there, if he's still in the chat, he would know. It was amazing.
All right, let's get one more. Chris has got one in there. At various points, you guys and the Italians refer to unintended data materialization when diagnosing DAX issues. Have any of you done a blog or video on this specific topic?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did a video.
Yeah. With Marco, right?
Marco and I.
Well,
so did a video.
You did the video, but I don't.
Talk. Oh no, we show it. We show it with the measure. The measure increases the model size.
Yeah, I don't remember you showing what the measure.
Show the measure.
You didn't show the measure.
No, we didn't want to show the measure.
Yeah.
We didn't want to show the measure. It was intentional not to show the measure.
Okay.
But
I know it was
the
a
model
specific
size go from like
It was a specifically crafted measure to introduce the problem.
And we didn't want to show it. And so we went from a model size less than a gig to like 3 gigs just by running that measure. But that was all the materialization that was happening.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
All right.
Yeah, Casper's pieces are legendary. Yeah.
Yes.
Look,
all right.
Can you go back to my machine really quick before we leave? Can you go to my machine? I want to show something.
You got Go XLR up. But...
Here it goes. Here it goes right here. So when you go to settings, are you there?
Yeah.
When you go to settings, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see usage metrics. Somebody just posted, they don't see it. That's the data set.
Yep.
That's the data set I see. And then, right, you can go here. Where's it at? Where's the schedule? Oh.
You not turn off the
maybe
schedule?
You can't. I thought you could turn it off right here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can't turn it off.
It's interesting, yeah.
That's very interesting.
That's where it would be.
Yeah.
I don't see a way to turn it off. Got the history.
Ooh, look at there. It's just refreshing away, too.
That's it. Interesting.
Because I know the only way to remove it is to use PowerShell. You got to use a REST API to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. I guess you can't turn off that. Ooh, that's interesting. All right. Go to ideas.powerbi.com and vote that up. When does it turn itself off?
You need to wait. Yeah, it does. Like I'll get a message when it says it's turning itself off because there's no activity in the workspace.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
All right, everyone. We did it. Got through another Saturday, so appreciate all the questions, appreciate the super chat, all the memberships. Love all y'all, and we will be back next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. See you, everyone.
You're welcome to keep drinking that poison. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer for